Hello everyone and welcome to this video. So in this video we're going to be discussing what variables are, how to declare variables in Kotlin, and basically how they work. So let's start off with explaining what a variable is. So variables can be used in programming to store or to manipulate values. So for example, if I wanted to store a mobile phone number for a user, for example, on a program, I would basically declare a variable and give it a value which is the phone number, which can then later be accessed or manipulated if his or her phone number changes. That's a very basic example. So let's still continue with the program that we had opened. So we're going to basically run a mini program right here that will basically display information about yourself. So get rid of these two lines. All right, and the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to print, we're just going to get rid of the print statements, and let's get started with how variables work. So in Kotlin, to declare a variable, all you have to do is just hit var, which is a short for variable. All right, so once you do that, you now want to give it the variable a name. So I can give it, for example, variable. I can say variable a is equals to, I can say, a value of 20. All right, so it'll automatically detect. This is the beauty of Kotlin. Kotlin will automatically detect the data type of 20. So for those of you who have learned about data types, a number in Kotlin, for example, a number like 20 is considered to be an integer data type. All right, so I'll explain what these data types really are. But as I'm saying, in Kotlin, you don't have to declare the data type. You could declare the data type, but I will get to that in a few seconds. Now, for example, if I said, let me declare another variable. Let's say I said variable, let's say car. All right, variable car is equals to, we can say, open your quotation marks, and we can say Ferrari, right? We can say Ferrari, and it'll automatically detect that the car is storing a data type of string. All right, so it's automatically going to know, because you've given the variable a value in string format. It will automatically detect that it indeed is a string. So what if you wanted to enforce the fact that, for example, the value of a, the variable a, can only be an integer? What you could do is enter a colon and just enter int, which basically means integer. And it's basically, what this does is basically enforces the fact that variable a can only be an integer in terms of value. So if I was to basically go down here and say variable a is equals to let's say Alexis, all right, for example, it would not change. All right, so basically, if I was to update the variable later in the program, let's say I said the variable is 20, and then I, for example, went and said a is equals to 2. I wrote it as a string format. It would not update, because we have already enforced the fact that it's an integer data type. Now, what we would do is we would say a is equals to 30, and it would recognize that a is equal to 30. So let's actually test that. So let's print, and we open brackets. Now, since we are printing a variable, all we have to do is give the variable name. So we're going to say variable a. All right, so let's print out variable a without this a is equals to 30. So let's hit Control S, if you guys remember, and we're just going to run this program. And what it's going to say now, I can already tell you, is going to say a is going to print a is equals to 20, as you can see down here. So now, if we were to say, let's just add a line before the print statement, and let's say a is equals to 50. All right, now it would probably print 50. So let's actually see that in practice, and there you go, it's going to say 50. Now, if we again were to do something like use a string value, and let's say 20, for example, and we try and save this, it's already giving us an error saying that the required is integer, not a string. All right, so this probably will not not run and will not give us a result in the console. So as you can see, it's going to tell you we have an error. So that's basically how to enforce a data type on a variable. All right. So that's basically enforcing data types on a variable. Now, what we could do in addition to all of this is we could say we give a variable, for example, variable, let's say variable email, and we could say variable email colon, we should only accept a string because a variable is only supposed to be a string, and we give a question mark. All right. Now what this means is that this the variable email is going to wait to be assigned a value by the programmer or a user. So if we run this, basically the variable email does not have a value at this moment. So we then can go down here and say email is equals to Alexis at email.com. And basically now if we were to print email, the variable email, and let's try and run this, we should basically get this email right here. So let's let that actually just run, and there you have it. So it's actually just gonna wait for a value. As you can see over here, we have basically declared the variable email, and we have used the colon. We have enforced the data type string, so we've made sure that it's only going to accept a string data type, and we have left a question mark, which means it's going to wait to be assigned a value. And we have basically given the value as Alexis at email.com. Then once we have assigned the value as that, we have basically printed my email address, which it really isn't my email address, by the way. All right. Now, that's basically what it comes to, what it comes down to when dealing with variables. Again, I will discuss a few other data types in the future, but basically to declare a variable, to summarize what we have just done, you use the variable command. You then give the variable a name. So let's try a variable. Let's actually create a small mini program that will describe or give you information about yourself. So let's say variable name is equals to, I want you guys to do this as well. Variable name is equals to, my name is equal to Alexis. So we know it's a string. All right. We don't have to enforce it because it's already registered, and we're not going to be updating this variable anytime soon. So I want you guys to do the same thing. Create a variable with your name Alexis, then go down, create another variable with the name age, and give it a value of your age. I am 19 years old, for example, and I'll skip down below. Now, the next variable, we're going to say variable, I want you to give a variable of your email. All right. And basically use or we can basically use your variable. We can say, we can just say phone. All right. So phone, and we know that phone number is entered in an integer format. So int, and we basically give it a value. I want you to give your value of your phone number. So I'm just going to basically say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You can use your phone number if you want. All right. And once you're done with that, just go down, and I'm going to show you something really cool as well. So one of the cool things you can do with in Kotlin, as you can do with any other programming language, is use a concatenation operator. Now what a concatenation operator is, basically it allows you to basically print text and variables, value from variables. So let me just explain this right now. So we're going to say print line, because we want to print this on its own line. So print line open, and we're going to we're going to create a sentence that is explaining information about us using the variables that we've already declared. So we're going to say my name is, and you want to give a space, and now you want to exit the speech brackets, the speech marks, and you want to use the plus sign. Now this is a concatenation operator. This allows you to use, for example, a string like this, and you can then add it to a variable. So now we have said my name is, and we're going to use the variable name, and we're going to use another concatenation operator, and we're going to say we're going to open another pair of speech marks and give it a space and say my name is we've already said name, which will get the value of your name, and then we're going to say and I am, give a space, use another concatenation operator, and you want to use your age variable now, and we want to use another concatenation operator and say my name is your name, and then I am age, and then we want to open another set of speech marks and say years old. All right, and we want to give a space, and finally we can use the final set of concatenation operators and say my name is age years old, and my phone number is space. And let me just drag this to the side right here. It's getting a bit long. We're going to use the plus sign, and we're going to say phone, because that's the variable, and that's it. So once we're done with that, we have basically created a sentence with the use of all the variables and concatenation to basically link text and variables. So we're going to hit Control S, and we're going to run this, and let's see what value it gives us. All right, so let's see what the program returns to us. And there you go. So it's going to say my name is Alexis, I am 19 years old, and my phone number is blah blah blah. And that's basically how to utilize variables, how to basically define variables, how they work, how you can use text and variables in conjunction with each other. And that's basically it for this video, guys. In the next video, we're going to be looking at some of the common data types and the different types of variable declarations. So thank you so much for watching. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to basically look at the different types of variable declaration. Now this is going to be a very short video, but it's going to have a lot of value in terms of understanding how you declare variables. So as I've explained in the previous video, you basically declare a variable with the abbreviation var. All right, now you basically give it a name. So var a is equals to 10. That's an example. All right. And we can basically say, if we wanted to update this variable, we can basically say a is equals to 20. And what this means is, in essence, the variable, as I mentioned in the definition, allows you to basically manipulate or access the value of a variable. So we have another type of variable declaration, quite similar but also quite different, which is the val, which basically is in short for value. And a value could be, for example, value b is equals to 5. All right. Now what the difference is between these two is a variable will allow the value to be updated. All right. So basically what this is this is a read or write value right here. So that means it can be updated. But if we tried to do it the value with the value right here, what this means is that the value of b is equals to 5 cannot be changed and cannot be updated. So in a way, in a simple way of understanding, the value of b is equals to 5 and cannot be changed further or updated. So if we try to do that, so we say b is equals to 20, it'll basically not allow us to do that. All right, and if we hover over this, as you can see, val cannot be reassigned, which means that val cannot be updated, or the value of b, which is a val or a value, cannot be updated. And it's very, very important that you understand this. Variable can be updated, the value of a variable can be updated, and the value of a value cannot be updated or reassigned. So I just wanted to explain that, so to get that out of the way.